Hello, and welcome to the Tyrrell County Public Library. I'm your host, Jared Jacobo. Today is the continuation of our series on how to use different computer programs online, as well as in your computer. And we are going to be focusing upon more of the Google apps that we covered in a few videos back. Specifically, we'll be covering how to use spreadsheets. Now, since there is quite a bit of information to cover, we're just going to do this probably in a few different parts. So today will be part one of this series. So, without any further ado, let us begin. So I already have over here opened up our Gmail account, our test Gmail account. So how you get to that is there's two ways. You can either click on the apps, Google Apps over here in the right corner, and go down to Drive and access it that way, or you can actually scroll down directly to that application. So here we have Sheets, and so we're going to click on that. Now here you'll see that there are quite a few different options available to you. More than likely you're going to start off with a blank template, but you also have other different templates available here. So here you have a Google Calendar version that you can use, annual budget that's already formatted for you, monthly budget, a to-do list, Google Finance investment, all different sorts of things. So here we could click on one of these and you can kind of explore all the different templates that are here, but we're not going to be doing templates today. In fact, we're going to be just using something that that I started to create the other day. This is another way to open up past projects that you've done. So I'll click on this, and here we are with a blank template. Now, as you can see, it looks very similar to how Microsoft Excel looks like. A lot of the same functions that are here, but we're going to run through all of these just the same. So with the very first thing that we'll start with is over here in File. So here you can obviously share whatever you're doing. So click on Share, and it will load up different people that I can share with. So for an example, we're going to use a test email to work with. So here we'll use my work email, and we can send it to this person to be a viewer, a commenter, or an editor, depending on what level of access you want to give them. So we'll give them editor status. So we'll send that, and it'll be sent to this individual's email, so my email, and then that's it. And that person can log in here, and they'll appear as a little circle up here with whatever profile pic they have used, or if they don't have a profile pic, it'll just appear like as the first letter of their name, or maybe the first two letters of like JJ or JA or TY or whatever will appear up here. So that's how to share things. The other thing you can do is add new. So here we have spreadsheet, and you can also create new documents in different applications. So you have document, presentation, form, drawing, and as you saw from the beginning, you also have the ability to select templates. So here we have a whole litany of different templates you can work with. So just for purpose sake, we'll grab onto one of these and we'll click on a to-do list. So here we go. You have a to-do list, and you can type in a whole bunch of different things, and it's already pre-formatted for you. So that's a really good aspect of these templates. If you're not so great with doing formatting or different sums or functions into this is a really good place to start with in terms of kind of setting up your own stuff. So that's what this is. But we're going to jump back to here. And so we're going to go back to File, and as you can see, we have the New, and we have Open. So we click here. We can grab onto past stuff that has been used. We don't really need to do that. You can go to Shared with Me, Starred, anything that's been starred. So if I were to star this, it would appear in this folder. Recent is stuff that's been recently done, and you can upload stuff. So From your computer, you can grab onto basically any sort of spreadsheet equivalent. So anything from Excel to the equivalent in Mac, you can load into here and it will convert it over. You might have to adjust a few things, but Google is pretty intuitive and keeps on updating themselves on it, so it's not too much of a concern. But yeah, that's how you can upload files into there and incorporate them in so you don't have to copy and paste or start from scratch. So we'll X out of this because we're not uploading anything. We can also click on import. So import is almost exactly like open. You can click onto stuff from previous files and just click on it, and then it'll import all of that information into it. Stuff that's been shared with you, recent stuff, and anything that you want to upload. So it's almost the same function as open. It just merges it directly into the current document that you're working on. The next thing that we have on here as we go down is make a copy. So if you are working on this and you want to have another version of it, you don't want the current version to go away, you can click on make a copy and press OK. And then you should have another one that's exactly like it. It'll appear in another appear in another window. So you have two exact copies. So if you want to do two different things, you can certainly do that. We'll go back to our original one, and then we'll continue down the list. So here we have email. You can email this file to another person or email to collaborators. So we'll click on this just to show you what it looks like. So you can send to yourself, put in your email. You can either send it as a PDF, open it up in Office Spreadsheets or Microsoft Excel. You can choose what format it'll come out on. If you don't want them to mess with the values in it, you might just want to keep it on PDF. If you do want them to contribute the values into there, you certainly can do that. And here, in the email, you can also email collaborators. So you can let them know, people who already have permissions into here, that they can make changes as well. Download. So as you can see here, as we kind of saw before in email, you can download this document as a Microsoft Excel document or an open document format or PDF format or a web page. You have all different values here that you can choose from. Version history, you can name the current version history and see the version history. So you can actually create a separate file and say that I want to keep it this way. If you want to see what edits have been done in the past, you click on See Version History, and here it'll show that you're working on it right now. At 11:49 was the last time it was started. You can also look at what stuff was done before. So this document was created the day before, and it was looked at 1:10 and then at 1:11, and some minor edits were made. So here it's not completely done. You can name this version here and make a copy of it. So if you want to keep a certain style and you forgot where it was, but you want to continue with your certain thing, you can do that, and it's very easy to do. But we're not gonna deal with that too much. It's good to know where it is. Now we'll continue going down this here, and now we have the rename. Now you can click on rename and do it that way, but the easier method is just clicking right up here. As I've said before in previous videos, there are many gateways to the same function with things. You don't have to exactly stick to one version of it or anything like that, one avenue of getting to where you want to in terms of performing something on here. There are several different ways of getting from there. This, I find, is the easiest way to rename it. So it's currently video spreadsheet, but I'm going to change it to test video spreadsheet. I can't spell. And so there you go. We've renamed it, and it updates it automatically. So as you can see, everything on this gets saved instantly. Here you can star this. You can move it to a different file. And you can see document status, all changes are saved to Drive instantly. So any changes you make might be a few seconds of difference between the actual typing of in and the actual saving, but you don't have to worry about things getting lost or it cutting out on you and losing giant amounts of information that you might have input into this. It's already saved. So we've done that. Let's move on to the next part. So here we have move. Now, as you saw, the other method is up in this corner here. We can click on move if we want to. But here we'll click on move and we can move it to a file. So here we have a few different options. We have an old file from swap roots. We can throw it into a test file, into test file 1 or test file 2, or you can create a new folder and put it in there. But we'll just put it into test 1. So it's located in there, and we know it's located there. So essentially that's that. You can add a shortcut to Drive if you want. This isn't too necessary. If you don't want to save anything that you've done in here, you can just move to trash and get rid of it forever. The publish to web is that when you click this, it actually creates a URL that you can share with people. So publish to web, create a link, entire document, or you can just select sheet 1 or sheet 2 and create as a web page, PDF document. Then you are given a link and you can place it anywhere on the internet, and people can come visit it and take a look at it. So you don't have to do this. If you're a big organization and you want to share information about a certain event or something that you're doing with your organization, this is a good way to get that information out there instantly. But we're not going to publish anything here, but it's good to know where this is located. So we'll go back to here and document details. We'll click on that. It says location in my drive. Owner is me. Modified at 11:49 by me, so that's the last time information was input into this. So it hasn't really changed that much. It'll probably update itself with the new name in a few minutes and then change this time to the current time, which is about 2:08 here. And it says when it was originally created. Then we go down to spreadsheet settings, and here it's general United States. If you live in a different country, it can change to different terminology and stuff like that. It's currently Eastern Standard Time. So as you see here, you can set what sort of calculations are put into the spreadsheet. So obviously on change in every minute, on change in every hour. You can also select on or off for iterative calculation. So here it's not too, don't really need to worry too much about this, but it's good to know where it is. So here is print job. Don't really need to worry about that. I would recommend, in order to avoid any strange formatting that might occur in your printing, to download it first, then print it out in whatever application you have on your desktop. You certainly can print from here. That's fine. You certainly can do that, but sometimes it doesn't quite come out the way you want, and it's usually better to print within your desktop or computer through an application in there. So, but that's where that is. Now we'll move on to this bar here of different things. So here you can see there is an undo and a redo button. So just to give you a quick demonstration, put a 1 there, undo, undo. There we go. It took a second for it. Or you can redo, and then it appears back in there. So yay. Again, printing. So the next thing we have here is Paint Formatter. So it might not seem like that you can do much with this, but there is a few benefits of this. So let me go to this column, and I'm going to type in just a 2 here. And I'm going to change the font a bit over here. And I'll select that one just for an example. And what Paint Formatter does is you select the cell that you want, the cell that has the format that you want, whatever the font is, any background, any text size, all that sort of stuff. You click on this, and then all you do is click on the area you want it to go, and then it's formatted to exactly how you want it to be. So yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's a type of copy. It's a type of copying and pasting, but instead of it just being just the text, it's the format of whatever that text is in. Very useful if you're trying to make things look uniform. So here we have zoom. So obviously, if we wanted to get close up to it, we click on 90%, 100%, 125. We'll stick with 100 because it's a little bit much if we're at a little bit closer than that. Format as currency. So here we click on this. We can change it to $1, or we can just deselect it, or undo is another thing you can do to exit out of that. You can also hit a percentage for whatever it is. So we can do undo on that if we don't want to do that. And then we can increase the decimal places. So here we're clicked on that. We increase. Hold on. Well, it's kind of at its limit, so let's increase decimal places. There we go. Yep, and we can add decimal places there. We can decrease it that way. So back and forth. The other thing you can do is click on here, click on the number, do that. Percentage. So we're at before. You can do scientific. So here it will come out with the scientific number, or just do regular number. And you can do accounting. So for different formats, if you're doing accounting, you can click on this and it'll change it to accounting style. You also have financial. So it doesn't financial formatting doesn't usually have a $sign in it. Currency. You can do currency rounded. You can do date and time, or you can do date, time, date and time if you're doing multiple things. You can do duration of time, so 24 hours there, or you can just do plain automatic text, or we can do number and get back to where we were. And then we're just going to get rid of that and bring it back to our good old number 1. And so here, as I kind of clicked on before, you have all different fonts that are available to you that you can use. It is Google Sheets. Usually it's not about showing the font, but you certainly can do that. Add more fonts. There's stuff that you can purchase and get and download that's here, but usually the stuff that's already available you're kind of pretty all good with. Here you can increase font size, and you can also make it bold or get rid of the boldness. You can italicize it. You can cross out the number. So if you're showing maybe something that you erase, like if you're doing a financial thing and you're showing stuff that's no longer applicable funds, but that's what was there, you can strike through it. You can also change the text color. You might want to, if you're showing profits or losses or expenditures and stuff in any sort of financial report that you're doing, you can click on like red, for example, and that might indicate something in the negative that you have. But we'll get it back to regular color. You can also do fill color. So here you can do like gray, and I have a background color for that. So, and that just doesn't extend, like when you're setting formats here, don't think it's limited to one cell at a time. If I were to select both, I can select gray color for both of them, and both of them will have that background. I can also select both of them and change them to percents as well, or scientific, or we can make numbers again. So as you can see, we can control multiple cells and columns and everything at the same time. So here we'll just set that back over here. Now the other thing to do, so you don't feel like that, oh well, I have to select all of these at once sort of thing, If you're just trying to do one row, you can just do this and click on that, and that'll highlight the entire row, or you can click here and it'll highlight the entire column. Which, if you're doing a uniform change for everything in that one section, it makes it rather easy to do. So that's that. And so we'll move on to the next part over here. So we've done the fill color. The other thing is that the way you see it right now, when you print this out, it's just going to be a 1 and a 2 kind of floating in a field if we were to print this out. That's what it would look like. So usually what I like to do, especially if I have a list or something, or if I'm showing a graph of some sort or a table of information or something, you can click on borders. So here I can have borders on all sides. So when I print this out, these are going to be surrounded in boxes. The other thing you can do is inner borders as well. You can have underline. So we'll click on that, and let's do a horizontal thing there, or just that. And no borders. No borders. And as you can see, I'm just playing around with these right here. And see there's a border here. If I were to click on this again, and then I would get rid of that border there. The other things you can do is certainly you can do border colors if you want to. So those boxes that they'll be in will have colors, and you can make it border style too. Right now it's just solid line. You can make it a thick line. You can make it dashed or dotted or double lined sort of format there. So you can give it kind of different style for each one. So that's what that is. Here we have merge cells. So it'll kind of do funky things if we do that. So we're just going to grab 2 and the next column over, and we're going to click on merge cell. And here we make it one cell altogether. So as you can see, it makes it, if you're doing like a title up here, so let's do that. We'll first undo that real quick. And yeah, we'll put this all across here, and I'm going to merge these, and then I'm going to name it as experimental graph. And there you go. We got that entered into there. Now you'll see this here, and since we've made this kind of merged here, it looks kind of out of place, and we might want to center it. We'll click on this, and then we'll click center, and then it can go to the center. You can also click on this, and it brings it off to the far right. But we're just going it to be center. And vertical line. So here, let me show you what this looks like. So here, you can extend this out. So you'll see right now where this rests is going to be the bottom of the cell that you've created, or merged cells that you've created. If you want to change this and make it more centered, you can do this. Not that. This. And click on that. And then it'll put it into the center. Or you can put it up at the top if you want. But we'll stick it in the center because I like things centered. You can also do text wrapping. So here, right now, just to give you an example, I'm just going to type out a few words. So, hello, my name is Jared. So right now, it's just going to be kind of continuing over into another cell. Because if I were to grab onto this and I would say, hi, then it would be kind of tucked under it, which we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this. And so we're going to click this and wrap it. So that way it goes to another line. So I can continue writing text here. Hello, my name is Jared. I like apples. And there you go. And that's how that works. And the other thing here in wrapping is you also have clip. So you can clip it at a certain point, or you can just go back to wrapping it again. And that's that. Now, text rotation, we have it going like this, or we can do, well, let's select some text so we can see what happens. We can have it going like that, inclined. We can have it going declined. We can have it going kind of downwards in a way, make it kind of funky looking, like that. We can also do rotate up, rotate down. Or we can do change the degrees of it in which it's going to be. So you might want to do this if you're like having something along the side. So I'm going to show you what you might do as an example for a column like that. So we have, let me put this back, oh wait a minute, let's put it back to normal. Here, we'll do that, make it normal again. And we're going to just erase this information here. We're going to go down like this, and then we're going to merge these cells. Aha! You can merge them going upwards. They don't have to be going horizontal. They can be going vertical. So you say, well, how am I supposed to write? Well, you go here to the text rotation that we were just playing around with, and we go to rotate up. And then I'll start typing something in there so you can see. Side of graph. And there it is. So, if you have kind of a table that you want to display or something like that, you can have one side going up and one side going across and make it work like that. So, easy. Now, insert a link. Here, let's just go to Google and we'll grab a link from a Wikipedia page. So, let's look up Gupta Maurya. So Chandragupta Maurya was the first emperor of the Mauryan dynasty. So copy that. So we have a link to grab onto. We'll go back to our spreadsheet, which we have here. We're going to widen this out just a little bit to give it some room. Do right. And it automatically does that too, but let's undo that. And we're just going to type in Chandragupta. And we're going to go to link. So you can click on the word itself. And grab onto that. And there you go. And it automatically links to where that's located. And as you can see, well, it's grabbing from the search results that's available online, but you can also take stuff directly into there too. So let's change that. And then we're going to, because it's already selected, Command V, and we're going to change it to Chandragupta from Encyclopedia Britannica. So that's that. That's how you do hyperlinking in here. And I'm going to do one more thing before we go. We'll keep this short because, as you can see, this is very basic that we're doing here just to have you input information today because, as I said, there is quite a bit to cover here. And we'll get through all that stuff a little bit later, but you know the basics right now. You know where some of the main things are in terms of inputting information and formatting it in a certain way that you want it to be. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to click on this cell here. I'm going to right click. Here you can cut, you can copy, you can paste. Now copy, you just copy whatever the text is, so I'll click on that. I'll go here, we're going to right click, and then we're going to click paste. Well, it doesn't like that, so the other option you can do is you can either do Control V at the same time. So if you look at your keyboard, for most Microsoft users, the keyboard will have a control, and then you're going to hold down the control and tap V, and it'll paste it there. Since I am using a Mac computer, it's Command V. So here, Command V, and then it pastes it. Now, the shortcut on the keyboard for copying something is almost the same. Instead of V, when you hold down Command for Macs or Control for Microsoft computers, you click on C and it'll copy it. So here I am doing Control C, Control V. There it is, and it's pasted. And here we're going to do paste special. So paste values only, paste format only, paste all except borders. So like as we were doing before here, this is kind of the same thing as pasting a format. So here we'll, since we've already copied it, we're going to do right and format only. And see, it's already grabbed onto the background color from the previous thing, so it didn't put the value in there. Instead, it put the just whatever format has already been put into there, whatever things that have been done to the cell. The next thing here, if we right-click, is you're going to see an insert a row, or, well, let's not skip thing. So show edit history, we can see no edit history, so it has no edit history for here, and it'll tell you if you want to have the whole document, you certainly can do that. So we'll do right-click, and oh, well, it won't show us that. Never mind. So we'll right-click, and you can insert a row. So here, it's better if you kind of grab the whole row if you're going to do that. So I'll click on here. I'm going to right-click, insert one above. And we've inserted, well, you can't really see too much there going on. So let's do it over here. We will do insert one above. So here, now we have two rows that are here, and this is not formatted with this. You can also insert below, so it'll insert one below it as well. You can also do insert a column, so insert one left and insert one right, and you can also delete a column and delete a row as well if you need to. So here I just deleted a row, here a column. Now I'm going to delete a row. The other thing you can do is you can clear a column. So here, let's say I don't want these values in there, but I don't want to get rid of the row. I'm still going to have values inserted there. You can clear the row. So it'll clear all the values that I've put in there. As you can see, the formatting is still there, but any values, and when I say values, any sort of text that you have put in will get cleared from there. So you don't have to worry about that information. You can reinsert data. So we have resize row, so you can make it bigger or not. So let's see, it's right now at 21 pixels. Let's specify to, I don't know, 27, just to show how you can do that. And there, that's how it is. It's just another way of doing this, essentially. Another way of doing that. So yeah, that's that. And you can delete row and delete cells, so you can actually delete a single cell at a time if you want to. So here, let's delete a cell. So we can indicate shift left or shift up. So here we'll shift up, and it's not too big of a concern. Yeah, and essentially that's what that is. If you have information on this side and you want to go there, you can say shift left. Let me demonstrate. I'll just color this green here so you can see the movement when it happens. So we're going to delete. Okay, delete column, delete cell, shift left. And see, it moves it to the left one. And delete cell, shift up. And as you can see, I've moved it up. So yeah, that's how you can delete cells as well. Again, we covered the insert a link, so it's just another location for inserting a link. Get link to the cell. Define named range. So here you can say if it's a sum or something. That's getting more into the mathematics. We'll cover that later. But yes, so for now, that's kind of the last thing to show you. So there's many ways to get to inserting different pieces of information into this, and obviously here we've inserted a few things and shown you how to do that. this will be a good start for you in Google Spreadsheets. You can start playing around with it, start creating any documents that you need, and explore kind of the different functions that are in Edit, View, Insert, and all this different sort of stuff. It at least gets you going and starting to work on it, because there is quite a bit here to cover, as I mentioned. So next time we will cover more information. We'll probably get into more equations and stuff that you can do in this. And that will be it for today. So thank you so much for joining us at the Tyrrell County Public Library. We hope to see you next time. And if you have any questions or anything, don't hesitate to give us a call or visit the front desk, and we will help you out as best as possible. Thank you, and have a good day.